Hey y'all, welcome back to AstroMotivation. My name is JupiterJames, where I awaken the astrologer within you. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and this and that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly what the universe wanted from us. And it is with that language and with that knowledge that we were able to decipher our birth charts. That way we understood the assignments that we've been given. And so I'm just here on YouTube today to remind you of the innate gift and the innate knowledge you already know. That way we get to our dreams further and faster. And so if that sounds good to you, let's get into it. Today we're going to get into Moon in the 7th house. Now, Moon in the 7th house is going to give me someone whose emotional fortitude is very centered around their relationships with other people and how other people feel about them. And depending on if their relationships are going good in life, they will feel good or not. But before we go ahead and unpack and dive very deep into that aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we can do more with the individual knowledge that we've been given in different areas of our life and in different areas of the birth chart, okay? So as an astrologer, Moon for me is always going to show me where the emotional fortitude of a person is. It's going to show me where that person's emotional joy, comfort, happiness, sadness is centered around. It's going to show me what would make that person happy and who they are at their core. You know, what are they searching for or yearning for? What is their heart's truest desire? You know, and how do they love to be comforted, and what are they made happiest by? And that's going to show me where in the chart, where it's sitting in, and what sign it's under. It's also going to show me the relationship between you and your mother. What was the dynamic between you and your mother? How did your mother nurture you and care for you and lick your wounds, so to speak, you know? And then by way of that, you now go out into the world and you kind of indirectly, without you knowing, you take on what your mother showed you how to relate to others in the world through the way she treated you. So it will show me that dynamic. With the 7th house now, no matter what ruler of your 7th house may be, no matter what sign that your 7th house may be in, because that always changes depending on the person's rising sign. The default out of the packaging birth chart is always going to be ruled by Libra and Venus, okay? So Venus and Libra rules the 7th house, and this is going to give themes of relationship and marriage and love and partnerships. You know, whenever I think about the 7th house, I always think about this. The handhold emoji, you know, on the iPhones with the handhold emoji. That's what the 7th house is about. It's all about, you know, relationships and reaching out, and how are you in your one-to-one relationships? How do you relate with the world? And what are the marriage partners that you will take seriously in this life and that you will eventually marry to? Yeah, so what happens when we take Moon and we throw it into the 7th house? Now, Moon in the 7th house is going to give me someone who, again, they are all about the other, okay? They find their emotional comfort in their world. If everyone likes them and everything is okay and no one is mad at them or no one's upset with them, then they are okay. They're easy peasy. If there are no problems to solve with other people, because they can kind of take on other people's problems. They can be the type of people that everything is okay in their world, but the minute that they've heard something wrong about someone else, they've taken on that energy and like, that's not right, that's not okay, like, this isn't right, that's not okay. And it's like, but your life is fine. Your life is okay. What are you upset about? Why are you... It's because they want to solve and fix other people's problems. They get very caught up in other people's problems very easily, because this is how they are emotionally comforted. It is by them solving the problems of others that they feel really good about themselves, or they just feel comforted, right? And they will also be people that if they are not in a relationship, they are gonna feel a little off. They're gonna maybe be a little bit melancholy or just a little bit content. What would make this person the happiest is marriage, is being in love, is being in a relationship. They really want to be someone who ultimately is in love and has a lot of friends and has people around them, and everyone is peaceful and loving and everyone is doing the right thing. But that's not the reality. most times, more times than not, if the universe be universe, and like I know the universe to universe, they are going to be put in situations where they are always experiencing people doing the wrong thing, or not being fair, or people kind of giving them the short end of the stick, or they are going to be people that, you know, always find themselves engulfed in other people's problems that they need to fix. If the universe is universe, and like the universe be universe, and this is what happens. And if you were to ask anyone that did not have moon in the 7th house, they'd go, I don't get into other people's problems. No, I don't really care to get into other people's problems. That's not my job, right? But a moon in the 7th house, if you ask a moon in the 7th house, so what's going on with your friends? Oh, they will tell you all day what's going on with their friends, what they need to do better, what they need to do right. Oh, this is wrong. They if they just knew this, it's because this is where their emotional fortitude is. This is where they are. They are all about the other. They just want to insert themselves into other people's lives and fix their problems, or give them advice, or nurture people. They're very good nurturers. This is a really good placement for people who can heal others, or offer very mothering advice to other people, or can be people who heal other people as well with that placement. But for my moon in the 7th house, does this sound like you? Are you someone that, you know, you want to be in relationship, you want to be in love, you want to be in marriage? You know, nothing would make you happier than to have a peaceful, loving marriage that you can nurture and heal your partner, and your partner can nurture and heal you. You probably are also someone that with your friends, you're a very nurturing presence with your friends, and you're a nurturing presence to people around you. The people around you see you and feel that you have advice, and you want to give advice, and you could be a motivator to other people, and you can be an indirect inspiration to people as well. But if this is you, write down in the comments if this is you. I really want to know. And while you're at it, can you let me know the sign that your moon in the 7th house is in? Because then that would better able to zoom in, and I could write back to you on what you could be experiencing with your specific moon in the 7th house. Because remember, these are general videos, and I am trying to channel for the masses, and there's no way that I'm gonna hit the nail on the head for every single person in the world. So let's help each other out. Go ahead and write down what your moon in the 7th house is, and I'll just write back what you could be experiencing with that placement, okay? But in a general sense, this is across the board what these people are gonna be experiencing. They're gonna experience conflict. They're gonna experience people not really caring, but it's not that people don't care. It's not that people are trying to do wrong. It's just that you are going to be extremely fine-tuned and focused on what people are doing wrong. You're gonna be fine-tuned and focused on relationships and being in relationship, and oh, I gotta go help, I gotta go do this, I gotta, oh, my friend, you see what I'm saying? Other people, they're just like, if it comes, it comes, if it doesn't, it doesn't, it does, you know, their moon is going to be elsewhere. Their moon is going to be elsewhere. They're not going to be so fine-tuned on other people like you are. You're going to be very sensitive to the problems and the worries of other people, and you're going to try to insert yourself into their worlds to help them or fix them, or, you know, be of assistance in some way, or give your advice or give your 2 cents. And when those things don't happen, when people give you flack, or when things don't go or pan out the way that you wanted, or a relationship frizzles or it fries, it messes with your emotional fortitude. Now with the moon here, this can go up and down. There can be moments and seasons where everything is great, where you could have relationships and friendships and romantic partnerships where everything is great. Everyone is doing the thing that you dream of. Everyone's getting along. Everyone's doing right by others. Everyone is being fair. But then all of a sudden, at the drop of a hat, it just turns, right? That's because the moon is the quickest luminary within our solar system, and wherever the moon is, it's going to fluctuate very quickly, like the tides of the ocean. And what rules the tides of the ocean? The moon. So things are going to fluctuate in this area. There are going to be times where you are everyone's favorite, and then there's going to be times where nobody wants to talk to you. There's going to be times when everyone wants to get along with you, and then there's going to be times where, like, wait, like, what's going on? Like, what did I do? Or what is going on? But that's because moon is in the 7th house. You're also going to be someone that when you get into relationships, or you seek after the people that you seek after. You're going to be attracted to people who are emotionally sensitive to you, who consider your feelings. You're going to want to be around people, and you're going to want to have friendships of people who are emotionally sensitive, who are people who consider your feelings and put you first, or put, themselves, they want things to be equal in the relationship. You're gonna want to attract people like that, and you will. What else? With Moon in the 7th house, you probably also had a mother who was the same way. You probably had a mother who was all about the other, was probably always very social, probably always out, had a lot of people over their home, and she was probably like that with you. Very graceful, very beautiful. She probably was very elegant and carried herself with grace, your mother. Your mother was also someone who really just wanted to be fair with you, as far as like, what if you get a piece of pie, the sister gets a piece of pie, and your other brother gets a piece of pie, and each piece of pie is going to be equal. Now, this will change and vary with the sign that is in your 7th house. But with Moon in the 7th house, I would just say that with this relationship with your mother, it was very tit for tat. I'd say that she was probably a very graceful person. I'd know more of the the sign that your moon is in will tell me a little bit more with this placement, because with Moon in the 7th, it's very general. It's just all about relationships. It's just gonna mean that you probably had a lot of mothers, with this placement, because this is the public. This gives me someone who could have been in foster care, because with Moon in the 7th house, this is the public. This is a lot of people. This is when you go out, you relate with everyone. And so you could have been someone who had a mother that was very the public mothered you, or you were just someone where your mom was very social and out being social, or you were someone who was probably in foster care, because this is a public sector. This is a public sector, and so your mothering energy is in a public sector. And so if you could put 2 and 2 together, that, for me, my intuition speaks to foster care, some way, shape, or form. But I would know more if you gave me the sign. Give me this sign and I would really know more. But if this sounds like you, let me know. My Moon in the 7th house is my astro motivation for you today. My advice, my inspiration and encouragement for you today would be to really try to find your center. Find out what you like. Find the routines and the things and the hobbies that you like, and try not to put so much emotional value in your relationships with others. Really, again, the universe is a funny thing that it gives us the thing that we are supposed to use and work against, and we need to balance out. And that's why I said in the beginning of the video, if the universe is universing, like the universe be universing, you have this placement because you need to learn to see yourself and consider yourself and your feelings, and put your feelings and who you are first before others. You are probably someone who is so adamant and probably so giving, and probably wants to be that person that inserts themselves in other people's lives and helps people and heals people. You're probably the perfect person for it. But the universe is a funny thing that it gives you a power, but it wants you to express it on yourself first. When you do it for yourself first, the universe wants to experience itself first. And so even though you have these things, even though you are able to give these things to others and heal other people and give the perfect advice to other people, sometimes you're going to run into flack. Sometimes you're going to run into people who don't need your help right now, or don't really need that right now. And that is your indicator to give it to yourself, to go home, find your hobbies, find what interests you, find what you love, find what the things that you like, and those things then will comfort you, and in turn you will begin to be able to be discerning of the appropriate times when your help is needed, when your emotional nurturing is needed, when it is time for you to be in relationship. But it starts with you first. So and know that you are valuable without the opinions and the relationships that you desire, because in this world, relationships are very tough. It's tough for everybody, but for you specifically, you hold a lot of that in your heart as far as like, you know, if I'm not in a relationship, I'm not good enough, or if my friends are mad at me, or if this person's mad at me, or if this one doesn't like me, don't worry about that. Worry about the people that do love you, that do care about you. Keep those people close, rock with you. Try to find the hobbies and the interests that you like, and by way of that, I promise you things will get better, and you will be able to discern when the appropriate time, place, and people that are deserving of that amazing, nurturing, caring energy that you have. Yeah, well, I really do hope that this gave you some encouragement and some inspiration today, and I will catch y'all in the next video, all right? If you have a specific placement that you want me to cover and motivate you on, go ahead and write that in my comments below, and I will put that a part of my queue as a video that I should make for you, okay? Well, y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.